Artificial intelligence is advancing at a breathtaking pace, stirring both optimism and anxiety about the future of work. Dario Amodei, CEO of Anthropic, recently made headlines with a formidable prediction. AI could eliminate half of all white-collar jobs in just 1 to 5 years, spiking unemployment rates to 10% or even 20%. The worry stretches across the landscape of entry-level positions in technology, finance, law, consulting, and other professional sectors. If this comes to pass, it could be an economic shockwave unlike anything we've seen before. Yet history tells a more nuanced story. Technological revolutions have always brought waves of upheaval followed by transformative opportunity. Rather than focusing on mass obsolescence, let's envision how the journey with AI might actually boost human productivity, unlock new kinds of work, and usher in a more dynamic economic era. Traditionally, a company might pay a white-collar employee $100,000 a year in exchange for $300,000 worth of output, an admirable 200% return on investment. But now, imagine this same employee, empowered with 3 AI agents, each matching their personal output. Suddenly, for the same salary, that individual generates $900,000 in value, pushing their ROI to 800%. It's a radical productivity leap, not because the human has been replaced, but because the human is now amplified. This isn't just theoretical. As AI agents improve, they could eventually take on even more of the load, allowing each human to supervise more agents, and for those agents to manage other agents, all multiplying output far beyond today's standards. Some worry this progression inevitably leads to roles being fully automated. But there are 2 key areas where people retain the edge: taste and judgment. Curating meaningful experiences for others and maintaining oversight for accuracy and quality remains squarely in the human domain, at least for the foreseeable future. Economists describe this phenomenon as Jevons paradox. As a resource becomes cheaper and easier to access, in this case, intelligence and problem solving, society doesn't use less of it. We find more and more ways to put it to use, expanding the realm of what's possible. Companies that once ignored certain projects as too costly now find the math works. Markets previously out of reach open up. Output and opportunity explode, creating new problems to solve and products to deliver. Take education as an example. Today, a single teacher manages a diverse classroom, typically dividing students into a few generalized groups based on ability. But with AI, each student could follow a personalized curriculum, instantly tailored to their strengths, weaknesses, and interests. The teacher isn't replaced, they're supercharged, able to serve more students more effectively than ever before. The same applies in early career white-collar jobs like data entry or basic analysis. Tasks often seen as easy automation targets. Instead of eliminating these roles, AI transforms them. Entry-level employees, instead of conducting simple analysis by hand, will manage fleets of AI agents, multiplying their effectiveness tenfold. The task changes, requiring new skills, but human involvement remains vital. History backs up this idea. When farming mechanized in the 19th century, fewer people were needed in the fields, but this freed millions for work in factories and later, offices. The productivity per farmer skyrocketed, from feeding just a handful of people to more than 150 today. New careers blossomed around engineering, maintaining, and improving those machines. Rather than stalling, the economy surged forward. Change, however, is never easy or frictionless. Right now, major companies are laying off workers and freezing hiring, bracing for this transformation. But as organizations stabilize and AI agents become standard issue, the dynamic will shift again. Workers will be measured less by the number of hours clocked and more by the strategic value they deliver with their AI-enhanced skills. Smaller teams, greater output, and a premium on those who know how to harness the technology. That's why the highest leverage skill anyone can build, especially students and new grads, is fluency with AI tools. Learn how to use them, adapt them, and crucially, understand the fundamentals of your field so you can validate, judge, and direct AI output wisely. Companies everywhere, like Box and Shopify, are already pressing their employees to upskill, experiment, and share what they learn about AI. Performance reviews are evolving to ask not just how much you get done, but how effectively you're harnessing these new technologies. Still, this future isn't guaranteed to be rosy for everyone. There is a real risk that as AI drives the cost of intelligence to near zero, those with the most capital and resources could concentrate wealth and power, tilting the scales further away from the average worker. That's a challenge not just for businesses, but for society and government to address, ensuring that new opportunities are accessible and that individuals retain meaningful economic leverage. Moreover, there's a global race afoot, with nations vying for AI leadership. Falling behind could mean ceding strategic advantage with consequences that are difficult to reverse. Balancing safety, regulation, and innovation will be critical. For individuals, the formula for resilience and opportunity remains clear. Embrace the uncertainty by learning, experimenting, and mastering the tools of tomorrow. The workforce is changing dramatically, but as in every era of transformation, those who adapt stand to thrive. The coming age of AI won't be defined merely by what disappears, but by how we choose to use these new powers, and by the new fields of human potential we unlock. The future, as always, is shaped by our collective willingness to learn, adapt, and lead the change.